How does cybersecurity fit within broader digital transformation programs? And can there sometimes be a conflict there? Because on the one hand, you might have, one group of people trying to do something new and generate new revenue streams and, develop the customer experience in different ways. On the other hand, you have other people perhaps more focused on the things that might go wrong as a consequence of those decisions. And how can those two things be reconciled?
Well, it's tricky. It's not easy because every CISO, every peer that I know will always talk about, nowadays, will talk about how they drive, value through what they do. But at the end of the day, being a CISO is an insurance policy. Because what you're trying to do is prevent something from happening, and then obviously if it does happen, to minimise the impact of that, and therefore you're a cost to the business, and so being able to justify your existence and why you need budgets for this latest software or defensible position, that's difficult to sell. Unless you can really leverage the transformation ideas that they're trying to do. If they're trying to get better insights or if they're trying to do different things with the same data set, then you can sort of leverage that initiative to then make sure that you've put the adequate controls in, the safeguards, etc. But it's not easy, and there is a natural conflict. And that's okay, because that's why you need, depending on the size of your organisation, you need sort of business-facing security consultants, for want of a better word, that are working with the business, understand what they're trying to, architects, if you like, trying to build that in, because that's where it's really cost efficient. But at the end of the day, there may be a decision where you just have to, you're going to take a risk, right? Now, that's obviously not for the CISO to make that decision, but it's the CISO's prerogative to make sure that they advise the business and give the right reflection, realistic and pragmatic type of advice on what could be done to kind of mitigate the chances of that happening in the first place. But ultimately, it is, it flies in the face of itself. It's great to be innovative. You have to keep reinventing the ways. Customers demand more. We all demand more, and therefore you've got to be on your feet thinking of different ways of doing it. So the CISO is no different. There are another services in the whole, just like HR, just like finance. They've got to think about how they can do it differently, more efficient, more effective, ultimately adds to the bottom line.
How do you anticipate